Hello and welcome to National Focus. I'm Pearl Fontaine. Thanks for joining us. Topping the headlines, the Dominica Police Force reports on the state of crime on the island. Contracts signed to improve the education system and new chairman for the Scots Head Sophia Gallion Village Council. All these stories and more when National Focus returns. Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. The government of Dominica has signed contracts valued in excess of $279,000 to improve the education system. The contracts signed on Friday with Canada-based EduNova, an education and training provider, are for consultancies in multi-grade teaching and curriculum development. The results of the multi-grade consultancy are expected to assist the Ministry of Education and Human Resource Development with effective methods of teaching multiple grade levels. EduNova will also assist in the revision of the National Curriculum Framework and the development of a program of study for particular subjects in grades 2 and 3. The Dominica Education Enhancement Project, DEEP, which seeks to provide comprehensive teacher training in key subject areas, is responsible for the consultancies. DEEP also aims to better equip teachers to respond to the challenges of universal education, particularly the need to improve education outcomes and to provide support to students with different learning styles. The multi-grade and curriculum development consultancies will run until October 2013 and April 2014, respectively. The Dominica Police Force, in its efforts to periodically update the nation on the status of crime on the island, described the most recent incidents of criminal activity at a press conference on Thursday.
The Criminal Investigations Department was responsible to respond to investigate several matters, and I can report on the successes of two major crimes which made the headlines. On June 7, 2012, a large number of items to include jewelry and electronics was stolen from Universal Elegance on the Dame Eugenia Charles Boulevard in Roseau. A team of dedicated officers, to include lead investigator Constable Jefferson Drygo, successfully brought closure to this matter with the arrest of 5 individuals. 3 of them were charged with burglary, while the other 2 were charged with handling stolen goods. 4 of them, Francis Philip, Daryl Humphreys, Kent Collier, and Christopher John Baptist, have all been remanded, while Kathy Thomas was granted bail in the sum of $15,000. In excess of $50,000 worth of items stolen has since been recovered. The preliminary inquiry into the matter is set for December 10, 2012. On Sunday, June 3, 2012, a shooting incident at Crazy Coconut left one individual, Wayne Maxwell, alias Hadders, male adult of Bath Estate, dead, and 2 others, Homer Thomas and Danny Joseph, nursing injuries. A team of officers with lead investigator Inspector Matthew Coffey went beyond the call of duty to ensure that this matter was investigated swiftly. As a result, Jack Joseph was arrested and charged with the murder of Wayne Maxwell, possession of firearm with intent to endanger life, possession of ammunition with intent to endanger life, and the shooting of Homer Thomas with intent to cause grievous bodily harm. Danny Joseph was arrested and charged with grievous bodily harm upon Omar Thomas. They are both on remand at the Dominica State Prison. The preliminary inquiry is set for September 3 and October 25 respectively, 2012. Additionally, between the period December 2011 to June 2012, 7 weapons, 88 rounds of ammunition were recovered. I must also state that a number of matters that have not been resolved are robustly being pursued.
The briefing also accounted for the more current activities of the drug unit.
The drug unit, more commonly referred to as the drug squad, has been concentrating on demand reduction through education and interdiction. During the year, the drug unit has had successes in several operations conducted. It has recorded seizures of 43,318 cannabis trees, 787,327 grams of marijuana weed, cannabis weed, 5.102 grams of cannabis seeds, 9.5 grams of hashish, 1,119.7 grams of cocaine, and 5 weapons.
As part of the report, the police chief discussed the transfer of the Lagor bus stop to the Riverbank area.
It was necessary to implement a few measures in the city of Roseau to ease traffic congestion. Despite complaints which are being addressed, these arrangements are working well. Canefin bus stop is now located on the southern side of River Street between Upper Lane and Great George Street. St. Joseph, Goodwill, Fonkole, and Maho buses are occupying the bus stand on Riverbank between Independence Street and Great George Street. Vehicles from the north and the northeast are in the usual location on Riverbank between the DC Bridge, that is the Dominica Chinese Bridge, and the West Bridge. To complement these arrangements, River Street from the New Link Road Bridge to Great George Street has been designated a drop-off and pick-off point for all public service vehicles. Effective Monday, June 18, 2012, vehicles traveling on Riverbank will be allowed to turn right onto Old Street instead of the usual right on Kings Lane. Vehicles traveling west on River Street will now be allowed to turn right onto Riverbank. Business enterprises located in the immediate area are being accommodated to load and offload. We encourage private motor vehicles to make use of other areas in entering and exiting the city, such as the DC Bridge, Hillsborough Street, Goodwill Link Road, Santa Roma Back Road. The necessary signage will be erected to guide the general public.
Bus drivers were warned that failure to comply will result in prosecution. The work of French primary school teachers and students was showcased at a primary school's French festival held on Thursday. The activity, which took place at the Goodwill Primary School, saw a number of presentations by students from selected schools.
Today, what is happening is that selected schools are presenting skits, demonstrations, exhibitions, speaking the French language and totally enjoying themselves en français. And the French teachers are proud of them because they are the ones who did the work, but the students have learned the work and they are happy to be there representing the schools and showcasing what they learned en français.
Chief Education Officer Stevenson Hyacinth congratulated the French teachers for the excellent work done in teaching the French language at primary schools. He encouraged the teachers to persevere in times of adversity.
We know that sometimes it's challenging, but I believe that when you meet challenges, there's several ways in dealing with them. So I want to encourage you not to give up. I want to encourage you to continue to work. You will reap the fruits in a few years' time. You may not see it now at the primary school level, but certainly in a few years' time when these students leave our schools and begin to make the meaningful role, play a meaningful part and play a meaningful role in the development of the country, you will say, this child was in my class. So press on, don't give up.
Meanwhile, primary school students who excelled in French competitions over the past year were also awarded at the 2012 Primary Schools French Festival. The students each received a certificate from Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Mrs. Jennifer Lafont. An exhibition of the students' work in French also formed part of the French Festival. A celebration of the study of the French language in primary schools culminated the French Festival's activities. Oscar Etienne is the new chairman of the Soufriere Scots Head Galion Village Council. Etienne and 7 other councillors were officially sworn in during the council's 16th inaugural meeting on Wednesday at the Carabantic in Scots Head.
It is indeed with certain level of pride and gratitude that I address you this afternoon on assuming the role of chairman of the Soufriere Scots Head Galion Village Council. I say pride, as with the office of chairman carries with it the qualities of honesty, integrity, and the spirit and love to serve. I say gratitude, as I am thankful to God, first, for using me to be of service to his people, and to all of you who cast your vote on the 14th May 2012. I am very grateful too to my fellow councillors who have chosen me to lead this new council. I thank you for the confidence you have placed in me, and I promise that I will endeavor to do my best to see this council serve the people as it should.
The new chairman and his council are beginning their 3-year term at a very challenging time.
My team of councillors and I are embarking on the journey at a difficult period in our development. A time when the economic is going through trying times throughout the world. A time when our treasured traditions, like the code means to serve to others, are on a downturn. A time when partisan politics is destroying our very fabric of our existence. A time when people feel that it is all right to say what they want without regard of truth. No matter how difficult the journey may seem, I am confident that my team and I will be ready to take the bull by its horn for the sole purpose of making a difference in our communities.
Etienne's first order of business is to foster a greater sense of unity among residents.
The first move that this council will embark on, therefore, is to bring all human resources together. We must understand that the council cannot do it all alone, and that the development of our free communities is in the hands of each and every one of us. We must collaborate and work together, for we are blessed with many beautiful sites and lots of potential for tourism development. There exists in this part of Dominica something for every one of us to grow and develop mentally, socially, and economically. All we have to do is identify these opportunities, put our ideas together, and work in the spirit to achieve one common goal.
Parliamentary representative for the Soufriere constituency, Honourable Sam Martin, pledged his commitment to assist the new council. He also used the opportunity at Wednesday's meeting to make a few requests from the council. Meantime, Minister for Social Services, Community Development and Gender Affairs, Honourable Gloria Shillingford, has applauded residents for their efforts in keeping the community clean.
Your efforts in the areas of cleanup and beautification are particularly commendable, given government's present thrust to enhance the cleanliness of the environment across Dominica, to make it safer and healthier to residents, more welcoming to visitors, and overall to improve and uphold the image of Dominica as the nature island of the Caribbean. I urge you to persist in your efforts in this area to strive to earn the title of the cleanest community under the Cleanup and Beautification campaign being implemented by my ministry. Government, through the Ministry of Social Services, Community Development and Gender Affairs, is committed to providing support to councils to assist them in achieving their objectives. However, the onus is upon council and community to put their heads and resources together to set goals and to plan strategies to achieve them.
Acting Prime Minister Honorable Reginald Austrie continues to defend government's Housing Revolution program. Honorable Austrie, who is also the minister responsible for housing, noted that while there may be a few challenges within the program has assisted hundreds of people island-wide.
No government has no obligation to build a house for nobody in any part of the country. And we never knew that before. And even when government built houses, you had to pay for them, you had to buy them from the government in the various housing schemes. This government, understanding the plight of the people of Dominica, understanding the plight of the people of this constituency, have embarked on a revolutionary housing program where we seek to assist people, those who cannot afford in the first instance to put a roof over their heads, to fix their leaking roof, and to patch their houses. And I've been advised that over 40 families here in this part of Dominica have received assistance under the housing revolution, under the housing program. So if 2 or 3 fall in the loop, in any system when you're giving things away, you have 1 or 2 people who will fall through. You have 1 or 2 people that will crook you. So I'm not surprised that 1 or 2 people have galvanized under the house, they don't use it yet. But that must not take away from the fact that 35, 36, 37, 38 people did make use of the material, and today they can sit nicely and comfortably in their homes, ladies and gentlemen. And that is the facts on the ground as it is. So yes, those people have not used the material, shame on you. But let us applaud and congratulate those people who have used the material in a positive manner.
We'll bring you more details of Wednesday's meeting in the weekend edition of National Focus. And that's the English segment of the news. Macpherson St. Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi c'est Macpherson St. Luce. Premièrement, le ministre de l'Éducation organise un festival français pour l'école Dominique tout en pays là. C'est l'école là participer à activité là qui prend place en l'occasion l'école primaire en Goodwill. Yon l'autre aspect qui concerne le langage et puis culture français t'est exposé pour ce nègre là apprendre hard. Madame Miriam Augustus Francis, c'est mon qui en charge curriculum français, ministre éducation Dominique.
Nous avons un grand festival et c'est l'autre French coordinator qui really organise tous ces grands festivals ça. Et il était décidé c'est pour nous showcase ça c'est maman il a qu'à apprendre à l'école petit garçon petit fille à l'école primaire tout en Dominique à 48 écoles Dominique. So aujourd'hui tout ces petits monde ça qui vini, yo ka chanter, yo ka parler, yo ka exhiber tout ça yo déjà fait pour l'année et puis des 3 années qui passé en français et puis à Miseko yo sorti tout partout en Dominique et puis teacher français yo et puis yo ka fait ça à Goodwill School aujourd'hui. Yo ka venir sur stage là, yo ka apprendre français parce que ça à curriculum là yo obligé apprendre français à l'école et puis des semaines qui passaient où nous te ka basé teacher certificat qui formé en français. So aujourd'hui nous ka montrer ça c'est teacher apprendre ses enfants et puis c'est Simon là nous ka démontrer ça yo apprendre. So ça c'est un bon jour, un jour géouté, un jour tout le monde content, teacher content, ministry content et puis nous ka ba yo un petit cadeau, nous ba ces petit monde là qui ka fait meilleur en chaque classe. Il y a une médaille et puis un certificat. Et aussi, nous avons honoré des moun Dominique, des citoyens Dominique, Madame Akpa et Madame Jemenia Collier Didier, qui depuis longtemps, ils ont pas à tout ça qui n'est pour faire français en pays.
À notre nouvelle, le ministre de l'Agriculture a conduit un programme de certification adon on mani adwese mauvais virus qui a affecté l'industrie citrus pays là à présent. Parole ça là qu'a sorti monsieur Ryan Ansem, officier quarantaine ministre agriculture.
Citrus Education Program ça là, ça y a fait, il a bas c'est habitants plan qui pas ni maladie, et il a bas habitant plan qui ça quoi qui est en anglais true to type. So here habitant les on plan grapefruit ou on plan citron, nous cassette c'est ça nous baillons. Et ça nous les moun programme ça là même gouvernement a investi on patche l'argent dans ça, nous mettons lab en place pour nous garder comment nous ca faire diagnostic avec ces maladies ça là avec propagation. So on patche travail nous ca faire nous ca faire surveillance tout en Dominique pour nous garder si nous avons mauvais maladie ça là. Et moi ça là ça qui fait nous intercept en mauvais maladie qui est citrus greening. Et citrus education programme ça qui est Dominique goumen contre maladie ça là. So ça nous a dit toutes ces farmers là ces habitants pour pas gagner plan hod pièce moun qui ka vendre plan hod ministre agriculture. Ça ou ka faire ou ka gagner plan qui ni maladie c'est moun ça là pas ça certifié plan ça là yo pas ça ba ou plan qui sans maladie. So nous avons des gens qui travaillent avec le ministre agriculture pour nous garder comment nous avons gagné contre maladie ça avec d'autres maladies qui affectent les citrus industriels.
À la nouvelle, State College Dominica a une cérémonie pour les gens qui font course en géologie en affaires touristes. Parole celle sorti au directeur des affaires éducation State College Dominica, M. Merrill Mafio.
Ça veut dire c'est 11 moun ça yo plus meilleur actuellement pour montrer grand monde comment pour faire bien meilleur en affaires tourisme. Tout ce monde ça yo ni expertise là yo même mais c'est yon bitin pour connaître comment pour faire quelque chose. En l'autre bitin c'est pour ni ces techniques là et puis ces skills là pour faire ça. Et puis c'est ça nous fait bayo nous montrer technique et puis skill pour teach meilleur.
Et puis finalement, le gouvernement Dominique a déjà dépensé à peu près 25 millions de dollars l'argent nous à ces plusieurs systèmes de l'eau tout en pays là en CD l'année là qui passe. Parole celle-là sorti du ministère management de l'eau, Honorable Reginald Ostring. C'est le ministre Ostring, 2 millions dépensés en Campbell, 2 millions en Délice, Tissavan 1.3 millions, en Trim 3.4 millions, 1.3 millions en Marigot, et puis Kenfield pour St. Joe 5 millions de dollars. Et le gouvernement qui travaille à Penville pour 2.5 millions, West Coast 25 millions, Montrose 4.5 millions, et puis Shawford 1.5 millions de dollars. Honorable Ostring a gardé devant au Lion 100% dominicain qui est de l'eau potable pour y servir. Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est Macpherson St. Louis. Au revoir.
When we come back, we'll bring you the upcoming events and government notices. Please stay tuned.
Do you have uncovered water storage drums around your home? Do you dispose of old tires, cans, and old containers capable of holding water anywhere in your environment? Are you being bitten by mosquitoes, particularly at dusk and early morning? Do you keep houseplants in water? Do you spend your hard-earned cash to control mosquitoes? Has your community experienced dengue fever outbreaks? If your answer is yes to at least 3 questions above, you are at risk to dengue fever. Join the fight against dengue fever. The responsibility for a dengue-free Dominica lies with you. So, get rid of the Aedes aegypti mosquito.
Time now for your government notices. The Social Welfare Division, in collaboration with the Wesley and Woodford Hill Village Councils, invites community leaders of the various communities to a public meeting to discuss the issue of child abuse on Friday, June 15th at the Wesley's Catholic Preschool. Starting time is 5 p.m. Please make a very special effort to attend as we work together to protect our children and break the cycle of child abuse in our nation. In keeping with the provisions of Section 5 and 11 of the Electricity Supply Act, Number 10 of 2006, the Ministry of Public Works, Energy and Ports solicits applications from suitably qualified and interested persons to serve on the 5-member Independent Regulatory Commission, IRC, for the electricity sector in Dominica. Successful applicants are expected to serve for a period between 2 and 3 years, effective July 1st, 2012. Applicants should possess substantial experience and sound qualifications in law and/or substantial legal regulatory experience relevant to the electricity industry. Alternatively, he/she should be qualified and experienced in accounting, finance, and/or business management. Copies of the Electricity Supply Act Number 10 of 2006 are available from the government printry. Applications including curriculum vitae should be sent under confidential cover to the attention of the Honorable Minister, Ministry of Public Works, Energy and Ports, Government Headquarters, Kennedy Avenue, Roseau, Commonwealth of Dominica, and should reach by June 29, 2012. All those concerned are asked to note the following hurricane shelters and shelter managers for the communities of Woodford Hill, Calibishi, and Concord. For Woodford Hill, your 4 hurricane shelters are the Woodford Hill Christian Union Church. The shelter manager is Harris Abraham, and his assistant is Jenna Etinoff. The Woodford Hill Seventh-day Adventist Church, shelter manager Bernard Wallace, assistant shelter manager Calvin Thomas. The Woodford Hill Yahweh Church, the shelter manager there is Augustus Luke. The Woodford Hill Baptist Church, where the shelter manager is Lester George and the assistant manager is Marilyn Moses. In Calibishi, your hurricane shelters are the ground floor of the Calibishi Methodist Church. The shelter manager is Angelo Joseph and his assistant is Cesarome Dick. The Calibishi Baptist Church, shelter manager Nathalie Joseph, assistant James Marie. The Calibishi Resource Center, the shelter manager is Elaine George and the assistant shelter manager is Anthony George. Concord, your hurricane shelter is the Concord Government School, while the shelter manager is Ryburn Williams and the assistants are Gifford Revere and Gabriella Serafin. Our tip today is about saving money. Buy in bulk whenever possible, especially when it comes to non-perishable items. Purchase bulk quantities of goods that you use a lot of, and that way you can save quite a bit of money provided you stick strictly to your shopping list. And that's National Focus. As usual, we invite your suggestions or comments. Please feel free to drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm, or you can visit our website at news.gov.dm, or you could visit our GIS Dominica page on YouTube and Facebook. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Pearl Fontaine. Thanks for watching.